Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of 6 for 6, Season 2, Episode 26. As you know in the description, last week wasn't a hot week for us. We literally had one of the worst that we had in a long time. We went 1-5, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, 1-5. We're trying to turn it around this week. Get back into that W column, going for that golden dream, the fantasy, the pipe dream of going that beautiful 6-0. Haven't done it. The only thing we've gotten close to was 4-0 when we were doing in the summer, but not truly 6 for 6. So it can be achieved. We just need the stars to align to get this done. We've been escaping the jaws of going 0-6. We haven't crossed that line yet, but I know if we keep picking these wrong games, it's going to be here before we know it. And that's not good, ladies and gentlemen. But that means our overall record is now 70, 64, and 2. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into tonight's program. All college football games. With college football, a lot of stuff is happening. Ohio State's homecoming is Saturday, so a lot of teams may be doing homecoming a little bit early, but we'll see as they sprinkle throughout the year as the college football season marches on. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive in. First picks, number 6, Washington, number 15 in the nation versus UCLA college football. Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, tomorrow, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, this at its finest is Pac-12 After Dark, but on Friday Night Lights. What else could you ever want for more than Pac-12 action late in the twilight hours before you go to sleep on the East Coast? Or if you're on the West Coast, it's prime time action. So I think this is really good matchup college football between Washington and UCLA. UCLA needs something to prove. Yes, they play Colorado, but they have not played anybody. Sure, you can say all that stuff, but Washington has defeated Stanford and Michigan State. They took care of Kent State, who Georgia let hang around a bit. So Washington is a team that has been decent this year. I will give them props for taking care of Michigan State and Stanford. But UCLA has something to prove in this. Something to prove, ladies and gentlemen, that will be very interesting. And yes, Ison is watching for sure. Yes, John, Ison, we got some interesting picks. I understand we're going to have one of your teams appear in the slot, John. So we'll see how it goes. But like I said, I'm going to go with UCLA because they have something to prove in this game. And I believe it's at UCLA. So Friday Night Lights, Pac-12 After Dark, and UCLA's being in the Rose Bowl, being at home. Yes, their attendance hasn't been great this year. But what else can you want more than Pac-12 After Dark? So we're going to go with UCLA on this one. Got some comments rolling in. Oh, boy. But moving up, John, yes, we put your Texas Longhorns in this matchup, John. I couldn't turn myself away from watching West Virginia and Texas Saturday, September 1st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on FS1. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you a scenario that I've been dealing with. West Virginia has been struggling. They lost to Pitt week 1. They lost to Kansas in overtime, 55-42. They took care of Townsend, 65-7, and they beat Virginia Tech 33-10. Where Texas, on the other hand, has lost to Alabama and lost to Texas Tech. So they're coming off a loss, and they want to turn it around. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Texas is back home at nighttime in Austin. But ladies and gentlemen, Facebook has caught me. As we all know about the backyard brawl between West Virginia and Pitt, I saw that and saw the Country Roads uniform. Ever since that day, I've been getting recommendations, suggestions from Facebook about West Virginia. That must be a telltale sign that I shall pick West Virginia. So with the algorithm being on my side, we are going to go with West Virginia, Country Roads, almost heaven. Mountain Mama, take me home, oh country roads. John's not too happy. Ison's not like that. Don't pick West Virginia. But John, Facebook, how often is Facebook wrong with suggestions for me? I've been sending you some great memes. I'm just saying. My Facebook feed hasn't been that bad. But we'll see if it's going to steer me wrong in this pick. Next up, we go into our number 4 slot. NC State, number 10 in the nation, versus number 5 Clemson. College football, October 1st, ladies and gentlemen. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on ABC. Ladies and gentlemen, this game, I'm giving it to NC State. Clemson is overrated. They went to overtime, double overtime with Wake Forest. Wake Forest should have beaten Clemson. And I feel like literally Clemson has not played anybody. Louisiana Tech, come on. Georgia Tech is not great either. But, NC State, they beat Texas Tech. UConn's not great, so they haven't really had any too much of good of opponents. So, NC State has something to improve. Well, not improve, but to prove by knocking off number 5 Clemson. Yes, Clemson's at home. Yes, it's going to be a night game. Yes, Clemson's going to come down the rock. Pet Howard's rock. And it's going to be a sight to see. But I think NC State is going to have some trickery up their sleeve and beat Clemson. Though ESPN says Clemson is a 83% chance of victory, I highly doubt that. They're disrespecting NC State. I feel like NC State's going to come out in the first half, going to show them all the might that they have, put Clemson on the wire, and Clemson's going to have to come up with something to win, but they're going to fall short, and NC State's going to have a big turnover, and that's going to help them win this game, or a key 3 and out, which is going to help them win this game. So we're going to go NC State on this one. In our number 3 slot, ladies and gentlemen, we have Wake Forest, number 22, versus Florida State. College football, Saturday, October 1st, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time on ABC. I know Hurricane Ian's in that wake, so all our thoughts and prayers goes out to those families who are experiencing Hurricane Ian. Yes, I understand Florida State is at home. Hopefully they're able to play and not have to postpone, but we shall see how this storm progresses. And this may be a DNF game. But if it's not a DNF game, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pick Wake Forest. But like I said, it's very touch and go how the scenario is going to go. Like I said, this game is going to happen. I didn't see any postponements on ESPN website when I was checking last night. But obviously, as the storm has already reached landfall, that may change in how things develop. But we'll see. The weather, like I said, anything's possible, but I'm going to go with Wake Forest. Can't really give too much if this game becomes a wash, but we're going to go with Wake Forest, even though Wake Forest lost to Clemson in double overtime. But though Florida State took care of LSU, Louisville, and Boston College, team's not that great, but Florida State has been taking care of business in that regards. But we're going to go up into our number 2 slot. We got number 7 Kentucky versus number 14 Ole Miss. College football, October 1st, ladies and gentlemen, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time on ESPN. The Rebels, Ole Miss Rebels, I got something to prove against the Kentucky Wildcats. Like I said, Kentucky took care of Florida, which was their last ranked matchup, and Ole Miss hasn't played anybody either. So I think it's going to be a prime upset. I think Ole Miss is at home in this scenario. Yes, it's a noon kickoff. I'm going to be a close eye watching this game as it develops. But I understand Kentucky, wants to have a shot at the SEC title. They, in years past, they've done decent where they go, maybe 9-3 in the past 3 years, and they fall short here and there. So this team is looking, to try to get there, upset Georgia, get to the SEC title game, maybe lose to Bama, whoever comes out of the SEC, and maybe get a shot at the college football playoffs. Now, if they shall lose, it's more like it's in-conference loss, but it's not in their division. So they still have a shot to get to the SEC title game with this loss, but they need Georgia to lose. But there's going to be a lot of moving parts in this one, but it's definitely going to be a solid performance by both teams, and I'm going to go with Ole Miss to pull up the upset being at home. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the number 1 game of the week. I think you know what it is. The rematch of the Big 12 championship game from last year, where Oklahoma State and Baylor go at it again. Number 9 Oklahoma State versus number 16 Baylor. College football, October 1st, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. It's a matchup. Baylor's at home. Got to make a stand. But I think Oklahoma State is going to make a vengeance, trying to win. and trying to secure a bid deeper into the college football playoffs by defeating off Baylor so they don't have to worry about them playing in the Big 12 title game. So knocking out your opponent now right here is definitely going to help Oklahoma State later on in this season. But their, percentage, Baylor's 3-1 and Oklahoma State is 3-0. But Baylor has a 65% chance of victory, which is going to be very interesting in this matchup. But like I said, it's going to be boiled down to how hungry these teams are and what they want. Yes, Baylor beat Iowa State and lost to BYU. But if you look at Oklahoma State, they, I would say, haven't played true competition. So you could say Oklahoma State is highly overrated. They played ASU, Central Michigan, really not that much great talent to tune up. Definitely get their offense swinging, moving the ball up and down the field. But now you're facing some Big 12 action. Now you're going to actually have to put points up on the board. And now you have to make key stops because the Big 12 is not known for defense to make things work in order to win. Definitely going to be something key and critical for Oklahoma State. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll do a quick recap and I'll close out tonight's program. Like I said, number 6, we got number 15, Washington versus UCLA. You can catch this game Friday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. Next up, and I have UCLA winning it. Next up, I have West Virginia, Texas, college football, Saturday, October 1st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on FS1, and I have West Virginia winning it. Next, I have NC State, who's number 10 in the nation, versus number 5 Clemson. College football, Saturday, October 1st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on ABC, and I have NC State winning in an upset. Next up, we have Wake Forest, who's number 22, versus Florida State, number 23 in the nation. College football, Saturday, October 1st, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time on ABC. Now Wake Forest winning it. Next up, we have Kentucky, number 7 in the nation, versus Ole Miss, number 14 in the nation. College football, Saturday, October 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time on ESPN. And without further ado, like I said, the number 1 game of the week, Oklahoma State, number 9 in the nation, versus number 16 Baylor. College football, Saturday, October 1st, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. And with that, quick recap. Last week, we went 1-5. We're going to turn this around and get 4 wins this week. I have a feeling we're going to get 4 wins, if not the perfect 6-0, what we've been longing for so long on this program. And like I said, our overall record, we're eyeing up that 100 wins. Can we get it? Can we get 100 wins and keep the losses to a minimum? Got to keep tuning in to find out. Without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Have a great week. Enjoy all the sporting events, and we'll catch you next time here on Ison and for 6 for 6. So long for now. Bye-bye.